This
To order
conference will now be
code
recorded.
enforcement hearing for the town of Ocean Ridge. It's July 1st. Verizon says it's 10 o'clock, so we can get started. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the special magistrate for today's hearing. The first thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to testify on any items on today's agenda, including town staff. So if you're here for a code enforcement case, including town staff, you could raise your right hand for me. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. And I don't believe we have any respondents present. So I'm going to forego the description of process. I will note for the record that I did review the minutes from the June 3rd meeting, and I'll approve those as drafted. And with that, I'll turn it to the town to call its first case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christy Gall on behalf of the town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, the first case on today's agenda is case number 2025-053. The property address is 15 Tropical Drive in the town of Ocean Ridge. The respondent is Joseph Beresaf. And this is a violation for work without permit. We have our code officer present and our town clerk present to testify as to proper service notice in the violation in this case.
Hi, Steve Shane, code enforcement officer. I was called to about work that was being done at 15 Tropical from an employee, that what they saw. So I went over there and saw what tons of work without a permit. Before I looked it up, and obviously there was no permit before I went onto the property, but there was people working. Windows were ripped out, drywall was ripped out. That wall right there, that half wall was ripped right by our drain field and pump station. There's some windows taken out, drywall. It was a complete demo with no permit, complete demo, just tons of work. So I put a stop work order. That last picture was just a big antenna that was never secured properly on top of the building using tie straps. So that is a code, that's a safety hazard. But yeah, they were doing tons of work without any permit whatsoever, not a permit. So I put a stop work order notice in.
Did you issue the notice of violation?
Yes.
So they didn't comply per the stop work order by the 528. So then we issued the notice of violation.
Yeah, we gave them ample time.
Yeah, we gave them that on May 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave them until, June 13th to get an issued permit. They did not apply until June 18th, and it did not get issued until June 23rd, and that was just for the windows. That was not for the windows and doors. It was not for the other items that were being done.
So what other permits do they need?
They still need an interior demo permit, exterior work. They're doing electrical, and I believe some plumbing and cabinetry, which will go with the interior.
Have you had any communication with the contractor or property owner?
Once this was delivered, the owner did come in and speak to us about it, and Steve happened to be there when he came in, and we did talk to him about what he needed to do, and he left with that knowledge. The only thing we received was the one for the windows and doors after that.
Yeah, he said he was hiring someone to help him. And, you know, we told her what to do, and I think she's working for him. We gave her ample time to get the permit. We even gave her an extra day or two to get the permit applied for. We were just asking her to apply for the permit. And then she was still late on that.
And do we have costs? How much are our costs in this case? $173.96.
Mhm.
And what do you think a reasonable time would be for them to come in and obtain the permits?
If they can get everything submitted, I mean, I wouldn't see why it would take more than 2 weeks to get it issued. As long as everything's there that they need. I don't see any issues with it.
So,
So
Your
14
Honor,
days.
I think we would ask for 30 days,
Okay.
failing which a fine of $250 per day thereafter, and the cost of $173.96.
And the removal of the concrete is pretty clear, that little wall. The windows, your testimony, code officer, is that those are new windows, and is that a new door?
No, the door's old.
Yeah.
There's a few windows that were replaced by the time I got there, and then there's one picture, I believe, that there's actually no window. So they were in the process of already taking.
Oh, the old window was already out?
Yeah, and they were
Okay.
getting, that one's a new one. You
Oh,
can
is
see
that the one with
sticker.
the bucket? Okay. Yeah, is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a window hole there?
Yeah, I'm standing on the outside there in that picture.
Okay.
They did some exterior work, that right there where they're doing that half wall that was torn down, and that was on a 45-degree angle. To the left there, that's our pump station. So talking to Public Works, that's very serious and delicate work there that needs to be done. So exterior permit there with some, definitely attention to detail working near the pump station.
And the inside, what's that stuff there in the boxes? Is that tiles or?
I'm not sure. To me, it looked like some kind of construction supplies. I was looking and I saw open receptacle boxes, so exposed wires, but that to me is some kind of supply to use in the rehab. I just wasn't sure what it was in the box.
But you saw evidence of interior renovations?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
And an exterior too.
Sure. And this is his apartment complex or something? Is that what it is?
I believe
four
it's a
unit.
four,
Okay.
yeah, it's a fourplex. And you can see right there, there's a wire coming down. That is the conductor. So that's unsafe too. That's electric. And then telephone is low too. So that's all garbage from them doing the work. And then if you scroll up a little bit more, just back to where we were, you can see that they did right there. Go back down. You can see that they built a roof, a flat roof, right there over that air conditioning unit, no, to the right, right there. So that was new too. So they did some work, unpermitted structural work without a permit.
Okay.
And it's, to me, it's very substandard.
Okay. And you've spoken with them about what permits they need?
When the owner came in, Kelly and I were talking to him, and we told him, because he's not from here, so we explained to him, A, how you can do everything on the portal, and B, everything that he needs.
All the permits, because
Interior,
that's, yeah, if they got the
exterior,
windows, but not everything else, they must not
demo,
understand.
and we
Okay.
told him about how we, brought a septic here, everything is very, and then we explained to him about the pump station as well.
Okay. Okay, for the record, is the respondent present? Seeing none, we'll note in case 2025-053 that the respondent is not present. Anything further from the town?
No.
All right, in case 2025-053, I'll enter the town's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the town had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find, based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer, as well as the photographs in the evidentiary case file, that the respondents, in violation of section 67-51 and Florida Building Code section 105.1 for the work that was done without the required permits. I'll require the respondent to comply with those code sections within 30 days, or a $250 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. And because I found respondent in violation of those listed sections, I'll award the town its administrative costs in the amount of $173.96 for today's hearing, which will be payable within 30 days. Okay, seeing nothing further? All right, I'll adjourn at 10:10.
Did we do the minutes?
I did remember,
I
I-
missed it.
the one time I remembered.
All right.